I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with Now Half Step in hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, so you can click on that merchandise tab and take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt or Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from Renegades Puck are all still available on our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, makes no difference to the Renegades of Puck. Something like 88 items in our online store. Best said, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also find us on TikTok. So whatever it is you prefer, we would sure appreciate if you could help us out. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it doesn't take you but a second, but it sure goes a long way to helping out the Renegades of Puck. Like, share, leave a comment, anything. It will go a long way to helping out this operation. You can also find the show in video format on YouTube, and we sure would appreciate if you would check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to that channel, turn on the notification button if you can, and also leave a comment over there. We would love to have you. We would love to have you in the trenches like Carlos is in Memphis. Thank you guys so much, and we should appreciate everybody for helping us out over on the YouTube side of things. You can catch the podcast on a number of different platforms. You can find us on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, several more platforms. Whatever it is that you prefer, please search Renegades of Puck today. You can also now find us on iHeartRadio podcasts, and that is a new platform to the show. So again, stick taps, love, and respect to everybody who's checked out the show in audio form over the last couple of years. Venmo is how you can support the show financially. So here, listen up, Renegades. Here's how you can find us on Venmo. Search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, and this operation functions on your generosity. So again, stick taps, love, and respect. Thank you so much for all of the assistance you've given us over the years. Again, even if it's only $1 and you can spare it, we sure could use it to help us with our operations here and some equipment behind the scenes and other things that we are working towards. So again, stick taps, love, and respect. Appreciate it. Scan the QR code. Help out today. Support your local Renegade. Now, I know it's time for No Half Step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 895. That is right. It's time for show number 895. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division after 73 games skated. That's right, 9 games to go in the season. They have a record of 43, 26, and 490 points. Has the Predators 4 points shy of an automatic qualifying playoff spot of third place in the Central Division. Find themselves 8 points behind second, 11 points now out of first. So now double digits behind first place, but going the other direction, 8 points ahead of fifth place, 11 points ahead of sixth place. All of these things will make more sense when we recap the full standings here in just a couple of seconds. The Predators' next game will take place on the road to be against the Colorado Avalanche. The Preds have a record of 22, 11, and 3 on the road. Those 22 wins represent the second most in the Central Division behind just the Dallas Stars, who are in first place. The Preds have scored 240 goals on the season. They've given up 218. They have a goal differential of plus 22. Now, the updated standings in the Central Division. The Dallas Stars are in first place with 101 points, and they are the first team in the Central Division to clinch a playoff spot. They've got the X next to their name. The Colorado Avalanche have fallen 3 points behind the Dallas Stars with 98 points, and the Winnipeg Jets have fallen 7 points behind first place Dallas. So the three-team weave has loosened up for the first time in quite some time. Then you'll find the Nashville Predators, the first team on the outside looking into the automatic 3 qualifying spots. The Preds have 90 points, 4 points behind Winnipeg at this moment in time. And then the St. Louis Blues in fifth place at 82 points. Minnesota is still alive at 79 points, but then eliminated the Arizona Coyotes and the Chicago Blackhawks at the bottom, 7th and 8th in the division. division, 67 points and 47 points, respectively. Now, the wild card, which is also of critical importance at this moment, the Nashville Predators are in wild card number 1 spot with 90 points. The LA Kings have dropped now back down into the wild card race and are in the wild card 2 spot after being surpassed by the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So the LA Kings at 87 points are in the second wild card spot. Then on the outside looking in, the St. Louis Blues at 82 points, the Minnesota Wild at 79 points. Everybody else is unrealistic as part of the race, and honestly, Minnesota getting pretty close to that cutoff as well. So the Predators still have an 8-point cushion on their wild card spot, but the LA Kings are very close to the Predators, only 3 points back, but the Predators still very much in control of their playoff spot. Now, the Nashville Predators upcoming week ahead, and we're getting close to the very end of the schedule, just 9 games to go after this game in Denver. The Preds back home to face off against the Boston Bruins. Just the Colorado Avalanche and the Boston Bruins back-to-back. That's not that easy of a task. So the Bruins on Tuesday night at Bridgestone Arena. Thursday, the St. Louis Blues. Saturday, the New York Islanders. The Predators will be in Long Island at New York to take on the Islanders. And on the 7th of April at the New Jersey Devils. Back home on Bridgestone Arena ice on the 9th of April to face off against the Winnipeg Jets. Don't want to look too far ahead, but man, do I want to start looking ahead at that game. That's going to be an incredibly important game in the Central Division. The regular season series between the Nashville Predators and the Colorado Avalanche has been rather lopsided and one-sided, with the Avs having 98 points, being second place in the Central. You would think it's gone all Colorado's way, but it has actually gone all of Nashville's way. It's the third regular season meeting between these two Central Division rivals. The first came all the way back on November the 20th. The Predators scored a 4-3 victory at Bridgestone Arena. Saros got the win, 26 of 29. Forsberg scored 2. Trennan and Luzon with 1 apiece. Georgiev got the loss for Colorado. 26 out of 30 was his stat line. Cogliano, Taves, and Nichushkin scored the goals for the Colorado Avalanche at Bridgestone Arena. They would meet again on March the 2nd. The Nashville Predators would score another victory on home ice, 5-1 this time. Saros, 25 out of 26 for the victory. Glass picking up 3 goals in that game, getting the hat trick in an incredibly fun and emotional night at Bridgestone Arena. Novak and O'Reilly also chipped in goals in that game. Georgiev took the loss for the second time this season against the Predators, 30 out of 34. McKinnon did break through and get on the sheet for Colorado in that game with 1 goal. So the Preds are 2-0 versus Colorado this year. They've secured 4 out of 4 possible points, and they have outscored the Avalanche 9-4. And considering the impressive nature of the Avalanche's offense, that in itself is a remarkable statistic for this season, that the Predators have outscored the Avs through 2 games 9-4. Let's talk about the opponent, the Colorado Avalanche. Let's start by mentioning again that they're in second place in the Central Division. They have a record of 46, 21, and 6, 98 points, has them 3 points shy of first place Dallas. So they are very much competing for a division championship at this moment in time. On home ice, an impressive record of 28, 7-1. 28 home wins represents the number 1 in the Central Division in that particular category. 272 goals scored. I told you, prolific. 217 against. That's a goal differential of plus 55. When it comes to the Colorado Avalanche's most recent stretch of hockey, let's talk about the most recent 5 games they played. Back on March the 19th, it was a 4-3 win at the St. Louis Blues. On the 22nd of March, it was a 6-1 win versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. On the 24th of March, it was a 5-4 overtime win versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. On the 26th of March, a 2-1 loss versus Montreal. And most recently, on the 28th, a 3-2 shootout loss versus the New York Rangers. Georgiev got the start, took the loss in the shootout. He went 23 of 25 in that game. That was a very, very exciting game between the Rangers and the Colorado Avalanche. When it comes to the NHL rankings and the numbers, some impressive numbers on the Colorado Avalanche side of things. In the goals for category, it starts right there at 3.7 per game. Again, 272 on the season in 73 games. It works out to 3.7 per game. That's first best overall in the NHL. When it comes to the Nashville Predators, in the same statistical metric, 12th best in the NHL at 3.26. That 3.26, though, is a pretty good number and represents the highest the Predators have been all season long. In the goals against category, the Colorado Avalanche, not too shabby right here either. 2.95 is 12th best in the league, but they overcome that metric by outscoring everybody. When it comes to goals against for the Predators, 2.99, that's good. They're holding it under 3. That's 14th, even with the massive amount of goals that was just put into that particular category. Shots on goal, 33 for Denver, for Colorado, for the Avalanche, the Denver-Colorado Avalanche, Jesus. 6th overall in the NHL, and it comes to shots for the Nashville Predators, 31.7 on net per game is 10th overall in the NHL. Shots against, 30.2 for Nashville's 20th. The Avs only giving up 29.5 shots against per game. That's 10th best in the NHL. Special teams, you're going to find a decided advantage for the Colorado Avalanche in both of these categories. The Avs converting on the power play, 24.3%. That's a great number. 7th overall in the NHL, 61 conversions, 251 power play opportunities. The Predators, on the other side, 20.9% conversion rate, 17th, 50 conversions out of 239 opportunities. On the penalty kill, again, Colorado well ahead, 81.9% their kill rate, 9th best in the NHL, 42 power play goals given up against on the season. The Predators, 77.1% kill rate is 22nd in the National Hockey League. They've given up 50 power play goals against, so they've given up 8 more power play goals than the Colorado Avalanche. So when it comes to the 6 statistical metrics that we talk about, the Colorado Avalanche have 5 in the top 10. The only one being outside the top 10 is their goals against at 2.95, which is 12th. But again, with the power play being 7th, their goals for being 1st, shots on goal being 6th. That is an impressive offensive resume, and the Colorado Avalanche are easily able to overcome a lot of times the one metric that they are deficient in. And as deficient, they're 12th overall in the league. It's somewhat unfair of a label to be there. I don't take it back, though. It was a good word to use. I was trying to think of a good word to use. When it comes to individual statistics, every team in the NHL has highly impressive players, but, the Colorado Avalanche, I always say every team has highly impressive players. The Colorado Avalanche have players that are on another level. They simply do. Nathan MacKinnon has, to me, I understand there's a lot of discussion, a lot of argument to have. He's the MVP this season, and to me, he's easily been one of the, if not the best player in the NHL the last couple of years. And I understand he may not have had the statistics of one or two other players at times. Nathan MacKinnon is a dominant force at any moment. And this season, 45 goals, 78 assists, 123 points. Right now, at this moment, 123 points. He has 1 goal against the Predators this season. Rantanen is always tough against the Nashville Predators. 39 goals on the season. He's looking to get to that 40-goal plateau. 58 assists, 97 points. I don't like those numbers. Rantanen's looking for a 40-goal plateau and 100 points on the season on home ice on the Saturday afternoon. Cal McCarr's at 18 and 60 for 78 points. He's going to look to show off because he's got Roman Josi on the other side of things. That's something that we need to talk about for just a second before we wrap this up. Nichushkin, 26 goals, 24 assists for 50 points. Druin is at 14 goals and 32 assists for 46 points. Over on the Nashville Predators side of things, they have impressive individuals as well. Philip Forsberg, 41 goals, 42 assists, 83 points. Remarkable offensive consistency, remarkable health consistency this season for Philip Forsberg. He is truly putting up the best season of his career. Josi is at 19 goals and 57 assists for 76 points. Nyquist, 21 goals, 45 assists for 66 points. O'Reilly, 25 and 36 for 61. Tommy Novak, all he does is make plays for 39 points this season. The breakdown goes 15 and 24. And just again, want to bring up Josi at 76 points, Makar at 78 points, going head-to-head in this matchup. Look for both of them to show out. And Roman Josi has surged up in the possibilities of winning the Norris Trophy this season. He is finishing as strong as you can. Anticipated goaltender matchup, Georgiev has played 2 times against the Predators this season. He's taken 2 losses. He's 37-15-4 overall in the year, though he's first overall in the NHL in victories for goaltenders. He has a 903 save percentage, 2.80 goals against average, and moved the puck. 2 shutouts on the season, but first overall in victories. On the other side of things, UC Saros 32, 22-4 on 906 save percentage, 2.83 goals against average, 3 shutouts on the season. UC Saros is 32 victories, represent 5th best in the NHL. So you have the number 1 versus number 5 goaltenders in wins coming up in this game, and UC Saros has scored 2 victories head-to-head against Georgiev this season against the Colorado Avalanche. Highly anticipated, interesting game. Big Central Division points on the line. The Preds 8 points behind the Colorado Avalanche, but eyeballing those Winnipeg Jets just ahead of them by only 4 points. A critical set of points on the line in Denver, Colorado, with a little bit of an earlier start than usual, so make sure you make note of that. That's going to do it for the preview segment. Let's go back and talk about what happened. It's the Reverse Sports Full Game Recap. It's coming up next. If you want to skip ahead, 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We go all the way back to March 29th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Preds were in Arizona to take on the Coyotes for the final time this regular season. Head coach Andrew Brunette deploys his lines and defensive pairings in the following way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Zucker, Sissons, Glass, Jankowski, Novak, Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood, Yossi, and Shen, McDonough, and Barry Stastny back in the lineup. And also Luzon. Saros gets the start in net. We are 26 seconds into the first period, and it's Ingram coming with a save on Smith's backhand. The first shot on goal of the game at 1:05 of the first period. Ingram coming in with another save on O'Reilly, 2:22. Our first breakthrough in scoring. It's Zucker for the Nashville Preds, his 12th goal of the season. Glass with the great feed from down low to the mid slot for a strong wrist shot and finish. The Nashville Predators lead early 1-0, but at 5:11 of the first period, it's Zucker again with his 13th goal, second of the game, second of the period, and it's Glass again, setting up another strong shot opportunity for Zucker, and the Nashville Predators quickly pounce on the Arizona Coyotes for a 2-goal lead here in the first period. 5:36 of the first. Saros comes up with a save on Kesserling. It's his first save of the game. 6:40 of the first period. Ingram comes with a save on McCarron at the 8-minute mark of the first. High-intensity action here. McBain picks up his 8th goal of the season, getting Arizona on the board now. So in the first 8 minutes of the game, we have 3 total goals, 2 for Nashville, 1 for Arizona. The pass attempt across the top of the slot catches the pad of UC Saros, finds the 5-hole, and slips right across the goal line and into the net. McBain not intentionally shooting, but he is scoring. 9:35 of the first. Saros comes with a save on Kerfoot. 10:42. Ingram comes with a save on the captain, Roman Yossi. 13:44. Saros comes up with the save on Gunther. And at 14:08 of the first period, it's Connor Ingram coming with a save on Sherwood. 15:14. Ingram, a save on Gus Nyquist. And at 15:43, it's Saros coming up with a save on Doan. Strong rush to the net here, using that good youthful power and speed to get to the net of this scoring opportunity. 16:34 of the first period. Ingram comes with a save of Luke Evangelista. At 17 minutes of the first period, it's Cooley with his 14th goal of the season. It was a wrist shot off of the rush. Kind of a softish goal here for UC Saros. Got a good look at it. Nobody deflected it, but it goes into the back of the net. 2-2 now after 17 minutes of hockey. 18:24 of the first period. It's Ingram coming to the save with Nyquist. And at 19:22 of the first period, it's Sherwood off to the box. 2 minutes for boarding, and he definitely deserved that penalty right there. UC Saros would have to come up with a save on Keller, and then Saros would have to come with a save on Kerfoot's deflection, and then Saros another save on Dursey. The Arizona Coyotes just piling on the offensive opportunities here on this power play as we hit the end of the first period. The Preds saved by the bell here at the end of 20 minutes. 13 shots on goal for Nashville, 12 for Arizona. The Preds started off the game with a 2-goal lead and 6 consecutive shots to start before Arizona clawed right back into it. Carryover of 122 on the power play for Arizona sees UC Saros come in with another save on Dursey. 4 total saves for UC Saros on this penalty kill. Arizona relentless. The Nashville Predators were not relentless in this particular situation. Just pressure the entire 2 minutes. If it wasn't for the period break, I don't think the Nashville Predators would have survived this situation. We're now 2:19 into the second period. UC Saros coming up with a save on Doan's deflection at the 2:36 mark. It's Ingram coming up with a save on Glass. 4:49. Ingram comes up with a save on McCarron plus his rebound follow-up jam opportunity. We go to 5:42 now of the second period. Saros comes up with a save on Krause at 5:58 now of the second. It's Shen versus O'Brien. 5 minutes each, 2 heavyweights, and they exchanged some big punches, then had a pretty funny chirping exchange in the box after the fight ended, but it did not get the home crowd fired up the way O'Brien had planned to. Shen certainly represented himself quite well. But the Predators go ahead and lose that momentum when at 6:52 of the second period, they take a penalty for too many men on the ice. That's 2 minutes, but they won't be shorthanded that long because Keller is cashing in for his 31st goal of the season. It was an easy finish after some really solid passing. The Arizona Coyotes kept the puck in, knocked down the clearing attempt out of midair. That seemed to set the timing for the Preds defense completely off, and they already were a little bit off in this game. So an easy finish for Keller to get his 31st goal of the season. He has just barnstormed the Preds team. Speaking of barnstorming, it's 3-2 at this moment in favor of Arizona, but at 8:11 of the second, Cooley, his 15th, he uses the speed burst and goes far side for the tuck-in and makes it 4-2 now in favor of the Arizona Coyotes, just 8:11 into the second period. So the Preds were up 2, now down 2. 8:26 into the second, Saros comes with a save on McBain, 9:37, Ingram a save on Stastny, 9:44, Ingram a save on Jankowski. We cross over the middle point of this game, and we see Krause picking up a penalty at 10:08, 2 minutes for roughing. Gus Nyquist cashes in for the Nashville Predators on the power play with his 21st goal of the season. It was Philip Forsberg, and all eyes on Philip Forsberg. They were watching Phil head towards the top of the faceoff circle where he loves to shoot from, and instead he opts to pass across where Nyquist was waiting on the opposite side in almost the same exact location, and Nyquist just rips it for his 21st goal of the season. The Nashville Predators back in this game, now down just 4-3. 11:14 in the second period. Saros comes up with the save on Doan at the 12:36 mark of the second period. It's Bukestad getting his 20th goal of the season. He found himself wide open behind the Nashville Predators line of defense after some sloppy D-zone play and a couple of different turnovers. Arizona's got their 2-goal lead back, now leading 5-3, but they're extending it. At 16:05 of the second period, Schmaltz gets his 21st goal, just faster to the net than Roman Josi, and Roman Josi's last-second desperation stick check was just not going to stop anything right here. Schmaltz forces that puck over the goal line into the net by bringing the jam on the speed. 6-3 now in favor of Arizona. 17:26 in the second period. Ingram comes with a save on Luzon at the 17:31 mark of the second period. Jankowski's off the box. 2 minutes for cross-checking, but the Arizona Coyotes would not get any shots on goal. It would be a strong penalty kill for the Nashville Predators, but the damage here in the second period is very much done. The Arizona Coyotes now at the end of the second period are out shooting Nashville 27-22. They had 15 shots on goal in the second period. We start the third period with a goaltending change. UC Saros is out. Kevin Lankinen is in. And at the 49-second mark of the third period, we find Lankinen coming up with a save on Bukestad, his first touch of the game. 1:49 back to work. Another save on Krause at the 2:57 mark of the third period. Ingram comes up with a save on Tommy Novak at 3:55 of the third period. Ingram comes with a save on Gus Nyquist. And at 6:34, Ingram a save on Novak's wraparound opportunity. Really good scoring opportunity. And the Preds continuing to generate some pressure here. Tommy Novak and Nyquist particularly having a good third period. 6:34 of the third period. It's Ingram coming with a save on Novak, and then another save on Glass, plus the follow-up by Sissons at 8:16. Well, then we go to the 11:24 mark. We're crossed over the middle point of this third period. Lankinen comes with a save on O'Brien, and then the Preds trying some desperation attempts to get back in this game. Pull the netminder. Lankinen at 13:57. We find Michelli getting his 13th of the season, an empty net goal. That puts Arizona up 7-3. 15:47 of the third period. We see Bukestad off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping on Tommy Novak. So again, Novak continues having a good third period. The power play for the Nashville Predators allows Philip Forsberg to pick up his 41st goal of the season. Also sets the franchise record for consecutive games with a goal. With that goal, it was a backhand bar down, and it was a sweet finish by Philip Forsberg, the Nashville Predators goals leader. That was the captain, Roman Josi, keeping the puck in at the blue line and seemingly in one motion kept it in and had the vision to find Forsberg wide open at the top of the faceoff circle. Forsberg had plenty of room to skate the puck in, and that backhand was pretty sick right there. The Nashville Predators down 7-4 at this moment in the game. 18:28 with the empty net scenario. The Arizona Coyotes are going to cash in one last time. Cooley is going to get his 16th goal of the season. It's an empty net goal, of course. It is his third goal of the game. It is the hat trick, and for the small number of people that were there, they did donate some hats to the rink. It is going to be 8-4 at this moment, and thankfully that game comes to its conclusion. The Nashville Predators lose 8-4, are outshot by the Arizona Coyotes 40-37. and the historic franchise point streak comes to an end very late at night in the desert in a game where, frankly, the Nashville Predators just did not have it. And maybe in the first 10 minutes, but that's a cliche road game where the home team gets barnstormed for 10 minutes, gives up a couple of goals, then claws back in and ends up winning the game big. The Nashville Predators looked just fine in the first 6 minutes of the game, but then just gave this game away. They were slower to pucks, and the better way to say is Arizona was faster to pucks. Arizona was faster to the net. They were a little bit more detailed in their game, and the Arizona Coyotes, frankly, were playing a little bit more free, a little bit more loose, and they earned this victory, 8-4. What a weird series these two teams had this year between the Nashville Predators and the Arizona Coyotes. We've got more coming up on this game. We got to do the box score. We got to go through some analysis, got to share some opinions, and we're happy to do so. So please join us after this break right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Hi, welcome those of you who skipped ahead, or 10 minutes later, those of you who are now joining the show again. I'm sorry. Sorry you had to sit through that. Had to record it. Let's talk about some box score. Let's talk about some analysis. As bad as the score was, as lopsided as it was, the snowman on the board losing 8-4. There were some things we can talk about, but let's get this part of it out of the way. UC Saros, 21 out of 27, 6 goals against. There were soft goals. There was soft D coverage. There was slow play. And to be honest with you, even if UC Saros had been on in this game, I don't think that the Nashville Predators in front of him were going to do anywhere near enough to protect him in this game. UC Saros and the Nashville Predators defense and the Nashville Predators in general just had a flat tire in this one. Everything went wrong at the same time. Maybe the best thing, just get it out of the way. Just have it all go wrong at once. Give up 8 goals, reset, get back to things. Maybe somebody played, I still haven't found what I'm looking for in the locker room, and everybody got a good laugh, and they got back to business after that. But the streak comes to an end. UC Saros looked bad. The D looked bad. Everybody looked bad in this one overall, except maybe Lankinen. Lankinen comes in the third period. He goes 11 of 11. The empty net goals aren't his responsibility or his fault, so Lankinen does get 11 saves on 11 shots against in his 20 minutes of time on ice. Let's talk about a couple of positives because the team did still score 4 goals. They still outpaced their goals for pace, and just such a weird series against the Arizona Coyotes. But the Captain Romeo continues his red-hot play as of late. 3 more assists in this game, and I've lost track of how many 3-point games he's had recently because it's just been incredible. We're up to 76 points overall on the season, and he also put in 24-35 total time on ice to lead the Nashville Predators in this game. 3 block shots for the captain, Romaniosi. And again, he continues just to be as hot as anybody can possibly be right now. Forsberg, same thing for Philip Forsberg. 1 goal and 1 assist now, 41 goals. A new franchise record for consecutive games with a goal. He was tied. He gets the goal late. And he went for one more very late in the third period. Went between the legs and almost got, I'm sure, the majority of everybody except for me, tuned out of that one by that point. But Philip Forsberg was still looking to, he knows the franchise record is within reach, and he was trying to collect a quick garbage one at the end of the game. But Phil Forsberg picks up 2 more points in this game, 83 points on the season. Remarkable consistency. I don't recall Philip Forsberg ever having a season of this much balance. He always had well more goals on the side than assists. This year, 41 goals, 42 assists. His distribution, that pass to Nyquist for Nyquist's goal in this game was awesome. It was a great look, great vision, and he took advantage of a situation where everybody was thinking Forsberg's going to shoot. He looks the goaltender off by looking at shot, and then slides it across to Nyquist perfectly. Again, Forsberg has been really dynamic this season. It's the best season of his career overall, and he's going to break that franchise record here over the next couple of games. Let's talk about Zucker. How about Zucker getting 2 goals early in this game? Listen, that was unfortunately one of those template cliche NHL games where the road team comes in and barnstorms the home team for 10 minutes. Predators were up 2-0. They were out shooting Arizona 6-0, and then by the end of the period, the game is tied, and the shots on goal look more reasonable, and by the end of the game, the Predators have lost 8-4 somehow. But Zucker early in this game, and it's a combo. Got to talk about them together because it all works together. Glass with both of the assists, one of them coming from below the goal line, one coming from just above the goal line, but the commonality here was Glass getting to the puck and seeming to just know where Zucker was going to be and putting a perfect pass to Zucker, and Zucker then completing the play. So something perhaps worth exploring. Beauvillier, I like his resume. I like what I've seen from him in the past, especially his playoff time with the New York Islanders. That's been well documented, well chronicled. Since he's been here, though, he's not been performing at a very high level, and he's not exactly been blowing out any of the statistical categories, as I'm trying to say. So maybe Beauvillier takes a seat for a little while, and we get a chance to see Glass back in the lineup over these last few games. It is the time to experiment with a couple of things. There's no doubt Beauvillier is going to get in the lineup in the playoffs. That's what he was brought here for, was his playoff experience and his veteran abilities and leadership. But right now, perhaps after seeing this game where we saw Glass and Zucker combine up together for seemingly some insta-chemistry, I like what I saw. I'd like to see it again. Maybe give it a couple of games before you go back to Beauvillier. Maybe a couple of games off for Beauvillier will help him out as well. I don't know if it's something about the system. I don't know if it's something about the line mates he's been given. It's been shaken up a couple of games for him, but he doesn't seem to be performing at that high level. And there is no rule that says because you were traded for, you're guaranteed playing time. If he's not performing at the high enough level, he sits for a while. And someone like Glass, who's now come off the bench 2 different times in recent hockey and put up big games. 2 assists. It was a loss, but not because of what Cody Glass did in this game. World-class distribution service from Cody Glass for 2 assists. Chemistry worth talking about. Slow on the pucks, soft in the D zone, outmatched a bad regular season series against that Arizona Coyotes team. Preds gave up 7 on home ice to Arizona. They gave up 8 on the road against Arizona. They lost a whole lot against the Arizona Coyotes team. It was, I think it's the worst series the Predators have had this entire regular season. It was a bad matchup. The youth, the speed, the tenacity of the Arizona Coyotes just seemed to befuddle and confound these Nashville Predators lineup. Whatever it is, they just didn't seem to be able to have much of a response. And it was somebody different in seemingly every game for the Arizona Coyotes. It was Cooley in this one with a hat trick. It was Keller one of the previous games. I mean, they just keep coming at this Preds team. And let's face it, the Preds looked awful against the Arizona Coyotes in that game in Arizona. That's tough. The Arizona Coyotes were loose. They were free, playing without concern or care. Youth in the lineup, going with speed. Took advantage of that Nashville Predators team. Maybe some bad details were starting to creep back into the Predators game. We heard Andrew Burnett allude to that the lengthy point scoring streak might have allowed a couple of bad details to come back into the team game. Well, now you have your opportunity to reset, get ready for a huge matchup against Colorado Avalanche. And you know what? The point scoring streak ends in the middle of the night in the desert when, frankly, nobody was even paying attention at that particular moment. Maybe the best way it could have ended, very, very quietly. So that's going to do it for the analysis portion of things. Let's hear from Stripe Digital. Let's get back from that break and let's get to the good cold hard numbers known as the box score, and let's get you guys out of here. We got a big game against the Colorado Avalanche coming up on Saturday in the late afternoon time slot.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. Goal scorers for the Nashville Predators. Zucker had 2. Nyquist had 1. Forsberg had 1. When it comes to assists, it was Glass with 2. I forgot Romanosi had 3. Then Glass with 2. Forsberg added an assist. Barry also added an assist in this game. When it comes to the shots on goal category, it was 6 by Gus Nyquist. And then 3 was the magic number. Glass, Jankowski, McCarron all with 3. Zucker with 3. Luzon with 3. Zucker with the 67% shooting percentage in this game, going 2 out of 3. When it comes to the block shots, it was 5 for Ryan McDonough and then 3 for Luzon, 3 for Yossi. And welcome back, Jeremy Luzon, to the lineup. Go over the physical element of things. Take a look down that stat line and see a big old crooked number next to Luzon's name. That's customary. 11 hits in this game. He's back on track, back on pace to break the NHL record. Chauncey Smith, as every one of you know on this show, he's tracking that quite well. So if you're following him on social media already, you're well aware of the race and keep up with it with Sean C. Smith. And of course, we'll keep updating it here. But 11 hits in this game paces the Preds, 4 for Sherwood, 3 for Philip Forsberg in this game. When it comes to time on ice leaders, and again, this game got away from the Preds in the second period, so a little balanced, a little bit of ability to roll all 4 lines. 18:06 for Forsberg, 18:39 for O'Reilly, 17:34 for Nyquist. The least amount of time on ice by a forward was Glass at 11:51. Made the best of it, 2 assists, 3 shots on goal in this game. On the defensive side of things, with Captain Romanosi at 24:35, 22:21 for McDonough, 21:02 for Luzon. Special teams, the Nashville Predators, they went 2 for 2 on the power play. Power play time on ice leaders, all exactly the same time, 153, and that's because they converted both times. 153 for Forsberg, and then for Nyquist, for O'Reilly, Barry, and also Yossi. So that was your 5 players that competed on the power play and were successful both times. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Preds were 2 out of 3 penalty kill time on ice leaders. Cole Smith at 246, Michael McCarron at 211, and then Ryan McDonough 237, and Luzon at 230 in this game. A couple other numbers falling out of the box score to talk about. Face-off winning percentage. Preds down to 49.2%. They have 35 hits. Most of that was Luzon. A third of that was Luzon. Block shots 15, 8 takeaways, 15 giveaways. Just another indicator that the Preds were kind of sloppy on the puck this whole night long. In net, UC Saros was 21 out of 27, 6 goals against an in-game save percentage of 778, 17 even strength saves, 4 power play saves. Kevin Lankinen comes in and skates the third period, 28 minutes of action, 11 shots faced, no goals given up, 11 even strength saves for Kevin Lankinen. That's going to do it for the box. What's going to do it for the good cold hard numbers? That's going to do it for Operation for 895. Not a lot to talk about. You know what? It was a bad game overall, and it was better to get it out of the way it happened. Goaltending went a little soft. Defense went a little soft. The Preds got a little lazy, and they just frankly didn't have the details we've come to expect from them in the game. They didn't have the jam, and they weren't battling. They weren't competing. The ice was tilted in favor of the Arizona Coyotes. After the first 7-8 minutes of the game, the ice was tilted the remainder of the evening in favor of the Coyotes. And that second period was truly the Arizona Coyotes putting some dominance on the Predators. The Preds looked slow. They looked bad, and they didn't look like the team that had just set the point scoring streak for the franchise. So for the Predators, this is an opportunity. Flush this game. There has been another game that they flushed that was against the Dallas Stars when they were humiliated and gave up 9 goals. This wasn't to that level, but this was bad, and the Preds collapsed in all sectors from coaching staff down through the players, special teams, except for the power play. Power play was 2 for 2. Can't take away from that. But for the most part, the Predators just had 4 flat tires in this game, and it wasn't going to keep going after that point. So for the Preds, it's easy. Reset, flush it, big Central Division matchup. Preds have matched up good against the Colorado Avalanche. For the Avs, perhaps the Preds are much like the way the Coyotes are to the Preds. So we'll see if the Predators can sweep the regular season series against the Colorado Avalanche and come away with those 2 critical points and keep putting the pressure on the third-place Winnipeg Jets while also continuing to build on their cushion in the wild card race. That's going to do it for this show. Let's go ahead and get on out of here. Have a fantastic Easter weekend, everybody. I sure do appreciate you checking out the show. I appreciate all of your I just appreciate everything. I don't know what to say. The easiest way I like to say it, and it sounds good when I sum it up this way, I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate your time. And most importantly, I appreciate each and every one of you. Happy Easter, Renegades. See you back in the trenches very soon talking Nashville Predators and NHL hockey. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.